So normally when you think of an intervention being staged for somebody, it's because they're in trouble with alcohol, drugs, bad behavior. But that wasn't the case. I had an intervention staged for me, but not for what you would expect. It was for these perfectly normal sweatpants. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Tanner here, and I'm about to share another tale with you. It's been a while since I've done a story time on my channel, and I thought it's about time I start bringing those back. I have so many stories of all different kinds to share with you guys that are worth sharing, and I'm about to get them out there. So let's jump into today's story. As you guys got from the title and the intro, you're probably wondering, how or why would wearing sweatpants warrant having an intervention thrown for me? And we're going to get into that. So let's travel back in time to the early 2000s. I was a wee young little obese boy. Still obese now, but I was kind of on the rise of obesity. That really became a thing with my generation. And because of that, I had a hard time wearing regular clothes. My parents wanted me to wear more jeans and khakis, but they were always kind of like not form-fitting, not made for people of my size at that time, for kids of my size. So they would like cut into my skin, and I didn't like that feeling, and they were just kind of rough against my skin. So I gravitated towards the best pants. These are sweatpants. Sweatpants are stretchy. They are non-restrictive. You can move pretty much however you want to in these. That's why people like to use them for working out and doing more athletic type things. And at the time, I wore them for everything. Any occasion, I went out in sweatpants. Of course, my parents were against this, and for the longest time would always comment on that and told me that they make me look like a slob, or I could be perceived as a slob going out. But I didn't care. Back then, I wore them everywhere. It was my daily, everyday thing. I wore them everywhere. There were only a couple occasions that I would not wear sweatpants because my parents would not let me. And that was for like weddings or school events like Marvelous Manners Day, because my school had a Marvelous Manners Day. We'd have to wear stuff that made us look nice. And my parents, of course, would not let me wear sweatpants to those things. And rightfully so. Because, you know, they don't make super nice sweatpants yet that you can wear to formal events. But when they do, which obviously things are gravitating towards that now, I will probably get on board with that at some point. So, I wore them everywhere, all right? And despite constant protest from my parents and some of the other people in my life, I mean, other kids really didn't care. I didn't get a lot of comments from kids, especially not when I was in elementary school. I did the same thing in middle school. Now, in middle school, you know, I hit puberty and everything, and I wanted to look nicer for the ladies because I'm a guy. And when that kind of change happens, you start to take things more seriously when people say, nobody's really going to like you if you dress like that, or you're going to look like a slob, and that's not going to be attractive. So I started to integrate more regular pants, but I would still wear sweatpants for the majority of the time that I was like at home or if I went out on a weekend. But when I was at school, I tried to integrate other things. So over time, sweatpants did kind of phase out a little bit, but I still wore them a lot. And then in high school, I started hanging out with friends more. I was on a weightlifting team. I started trying to lose weight. I would hang out with these people outside of school. And that was really the first time that I really started to hang out with people in my life, was in high school. And this is where the tension really starts. You would think that my parents would be the ones to stage an intervention for me over sweatpants. They did not. Even though that they protested and didn't want me to look like a slob in places, they didn't tell me that I couldn't have them or that I couldn't wear them. Which, shout out to them, super awesome parents. But my friend's mom, let's call her Sally, she took personal offense to sweatpants, especially whenever I would wear them. And I would go over to their house pretty often. And when I did, she would go out of her way to make sure she knew that I knew that she did not approve of sweatpants on me, like wearing them all the time. The first couple times she didn't say anything. But after like the third or fourth time of going over to their house and hanging out with them and doing stuff with them, that's when she started. And they started with the same comments, right? It's the,
you know, that just doesn't look as good on you. You can wear regular pants. You'd look nicer. You won't look like a slob.
and of course I'd be like, oh yeah, thanks, you know. I just kind of brushed it off at first. But she kept going. And it just kind of built and built. They were little micro comments. And I didn't see it coming. I really didn't see it coming. But she had a personal vendetta about me wearing sweatpants. She was going to find a way to get me to stop. And I have to pause this before we continue. I have to plug my merch. So if you guys enjoy what I am doing and you want to support me, consider going to www.tannersTalesEntertainment.com to pick up some fun merch. I have my comic books, both issues 1 and 2 of Number 2 Pencil Man available on there in physical format and digital format, as well as my children's book, Alex and the Big Fish. You can get them on my website along with some other fun merch like t-shirts, water bottles, and much more to come. So if you want to go and support me, just go over to www.tannersTalesEntertainment.com and go pick up some fun merch. I definitely appreciate it. Well, the next time I went over to their house, all my friends were there. All the people from the weightlifting team. All of them. It was a rare occasion when we all hung out together. I had no idea what was going on. But apparently, they were also conspiring to find a way to get me not to wear sweatpants. And you see, I didn't see it coming from them. I mean, every once in a while, yeah, sure, they would make some comments too, but in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, this is fine, you know, sweatpants. We're all part of the weightlifting team. We all like to be comfortable. We like that. I didn't see it coming. So I was blindsided when I walked into their house and they ushered me into the living room and they sat me down in the middle of the room on the floor. Sally was there and everybody took seats and they're like,
Tanner, we want you to know that we really like you as a person and as a friend.
and I'm all confused because I'm like, what's going on? You know, what is this about? And then Sally like continues.
It's like, we gotta talk about something.
And I'm like, my heart drops. And I'm like, oh boy, did I do something wrong? And I'm looking around at everybody and they're all just like, you know, sitting back all like serious and staring at me. And like,
Please don't take this as a personal thing against you. But the sweatpants have to go.
and this was Sally doing most of the talking. Everybody was just kind of sitting there. And they, by the way, they were just kind of like sitting with their arms crossed or just kind of sitting back with like firm faces. I knew that they were all in agreement. She was like,
I don't want to see you wearing those things in my house ever again after today. If I see you wearing them, I will take them off, cut them up, and burn them.
and in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, you know. She's like,
Are we clear?
and I'm just like, yeah. I won't wear sweatpants here ever again. And they're just like,
Good.
and then everybody was like nodding in agreement. And it was a weird thing. But I remember being a young, impressionable teenager of 16 or 17 at the time. These words affected me deeply. I never wore sweatpants again to her house. I actually stopped wearing sweatpants pretty much everywhere except for the gym. And I don't know what to say about it, honestly. It was, I don't know. I felt the seriousness of that intervention. I don't know why it was such a big deal that I was wearing sweatpants, but young teenager me gave them up and gave into the peer pressure, gave into what other people thought of me, maybe. And for years, I did stop wearing sweatpants. I don't wear them out anymore. So it worked. The intervention did work. Now, was it really an intervention that needed to be had? I don't know. And now I hardly ever hang out with these people, and I don't see Sally hardly ever. And I've run into her a couple times, and I see these guys every once in a while on occasion too, and they don't bring it up anymore. And Sally had kind of like moved on like nothing else happened. It was like a serious conversation, and then afterwards it was nothing. But I, to this day, have kind of taken it to heart in a way. And I want to get back to wearing them, but I don't want to wear them all the time, because I can understand why they wanted me to wear regular pants, right? But now I had to figure out, am I doing it for myself, or am I doing it for other people? And at this point, I can say that I think I'm wearing regular pants more for myself and not for other people. My wife, she doesn't mind that I wear sweatpants from time to time. I mean, she likes it. Some sweatpants are very form-fitting and nice. I wear them at the gym. The gym, I think, is still nice to have them. And I also think that regular pants have come a long way. And you guys are probably like, Tanner, you're talking about pants like it's such a big thing. Well, it is, you know? Clothing is a big thing. You want clothing that fits and is comfortable. And as time has passed, I mean, bigger people are becoming more the norm here in America. And I feel like because of that, clothing companies are starting to take that into consideration with clothing for the most part. I've had some really nice khaki pants that are not as like cutting into me. I don't wear jeans. I refuse to wear jeans because I know the fabric of denim is more firm. But I started wearing more like khaki cargo pants, things like that. And sure, I look a little bit nicer. It can be easier to style with things. I mean, let's face it, they don't really make super formal sweatpants. They make like athletic pants, like basic sweatpants like this that come equipped with like a pocket. They don't really have any cool designs on them. They're just kind of basic still. So, I mean, from a fashion standpoint, sure, they don't really have super fancy, fashionable sweatpants that you can wear with everyday attire. Like I could wear a polo shirt with this, but it's not going to look as nice. I started getting into fashion a little bit more after high school and stuff. But that's a story for another day. But sweatpants, man, I mean, these things are great still, and I want to wear them a little bit more than I do maybe in like the winter times when I'm lounging at home. But yeah, this is kind of how I let peer pressure kind of stop me from being comfortable back then, or maybe it didn't. It's hard to really say. And as I think about it now, I don't know whether or not it was entirely the main reason I stopped wearing them. I think it had a big impact on me at the time. And it's a lot to reflect on for just a pair of pants. And you guys, I hope you're getting some entertainment out of that. But there's a lot to learn. You know, peer pressure should never stop anybody from doing anything. And I know we as humans are wired to be in society with others, and we do care. We care about what people think of us, because from a psychological and some other standpoint, we feel like if we are rejected by society, then we will ultimately disappear or die, which I think is what the root of most fear is. And I think it's time that we gotta step back and really evaluate that, because I don't think that that is true. I don't think that getting, you know, wearing sweatpants was going to oust me from society. Because nowadays, everybody's wearing sweatpants. More people are taking to the comfort route than necessarily looking nice. You don't get a lot of people that dress up anymore. So I like to say that I was a fashion trendsetter before everybody else jumped on board with it, even though people couldn't see it, even though they criticized it. That was me. Fashion trendsetter with wearing sweatpants. But yeah, you know, we gotta just really evaluate how we let things affect us, and peer pressure. We shouldn't give into it. I mean, we can consider what people say, and if we agree with it, then maybe integrate some of it, but we should never just take it at what they are saying and do it just for that sake. Unless it's a super bad thing. Like, my intervention was over sweatpants. Some people have interventions about alcohol or drugs or really bad behaviors. Mine was just sweatpants. Sweatpants. Like, why me? Why would you have an intervention for me over sweatpants? Why waste that energy? But, you know, maybe it's for the best that I had that happen to me. Because now I can reflect on it and learn these lessons. So, don't let people influence you without you kind of thinking about it and thinking it through. Don't change for anybody just based on what they say or try to get you to do. Take the information, process it. If it does have truth to it, then take it, maybe. But don't just change who you are for the comfort or the sake of others that really shouldn't matter. And these people do matter to me. They were a huge part of me growing up in that time. And perhaps that is also why I took that and maybe took it to heart more. But it's hard to say. So, that is a story about how I had an intervention over sweatpants. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it and got something out of this. If you guys want to hear other stories from my younger life or newer life, I don't know why I said it like that. I got plenty. So this won't be the last story time. And I'm hoping to bring this back as a regular thing on the channel. So, yeah. And if you guys have a story that you want to hear from me, or if you guys have like a general category of stories that you want to hear, let me know. And I can go through my database of my life and see which story I can share that might fit that. Because I've had a lot. I've had a lot of experience in my life. And I think it's about time to share. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to like, comment maybe what you thought was fun or interesting about this video. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel because it helps me grow. And I'm trying to get out there as a content creator and produce more content, whether it be this kind of storytelling or skits or random content. I just want to do a little bit of everything. So your subscription helps me do that. If you like the video a lot, you can also share it with your friends if you thought it was funny or got something from it. Definitely be sure to share. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you guys again, and until next time.